Welcome to Unveiled, the Hampton Police Division podcast where we dive into the world of policing. I'm your host, Chief Jimmie Wideman, and today our guests are Christopher Moore with Bagz for Kidz and one of his associates, Mr. Olu Lasana.
Hey, thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
My name is Chris Moore, the founder of Bagz for the Kidz movement. We are a gun violence prevention intervention program that services the cities of Hampton and Newport News in connection to the gun violence that's going on in our neighborhoods. So we do a lot with kids, outreach, whatever it takes, so we can try to get them to move to a different path.
Good to go.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Edwin Olu Lasana. I'm a partner with him. I do all I can to assist him and all that he do to change the narrative for the kids in our community.
Exactly. And for the community and the guests, or excuse me, not the guests, but the viewers, I met Mr. Moore when I first came back to the police department as chief, was encouraged and really appreciated the work he's doing in the community for the young folk, and having an appreciation for the fact that, for us to message the nonviolence, we have to have credible messengers, people in the community, people that have legitimacy, that are trusted by members of the community.
Yes.
And this gentleman stood out to me as one of those, pioneers in that. So I wanted to give this opportunity to give you all a platform to not only promote your association, but also to tell us what we can do better to, I guess, curb gun violence and reach to kids or others in the community that need to hear the messaging.
Yes. Well, I know one of the great things about you, Chief, is, like you said...
this is about you today. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. but you recognized me, and you came to me with open arms, and I really appreciate that. And in connection to our community, most often when we think about the police, we think they're trying to arrest us, they're trying to lock us up. But I thank you for, changing that narrative. And, whenever I ask the chief, I need you to pull up. I'm having this event. You're right there, regardless if I'm last minute or not. You're right there, and I really appreciate that. And I think that shows the community a different side of your police department. And I thank you for that.
Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I think when we spoke earlier, you Mr. Lasana, you said that you've been with the group for 7 years?
7 years, yes.
You want to explain that journey and what inspired you?
Oh, it started off, it was the winter time, and we see kids outside with no coats. So he started a coat drive. So I went out and bought coats, as he did as well, with our own money,
Sure.
to give back to the kids. And since then, I've been active in supporting him and the kids in our community. See, my walk of life, I did it all. I've been to prison. As a grown man, I still find myself in trouble. I do everything right. So I understand the kids get in trouble all the time, and they kids. I'm a grown man getting in trouble. So it's hard for kids to come out of where they're from without assistance and support. So, I figure I can play my part and change their lives by speaking to them, although I feel like words mean nothing, in my opinion.
Sure.
I feel like in order to change the kids in our community, you need opportunities. Because words, like I said, when I was a kid, my parents, police, talked to me all the time about your actions. But still, I ignored them because words meant nothing to me. But once I found myself in prison, in trouble, my mind state changed, right?
Right.
So I tell them all the time that you can talk your ass off, pardon my language, to these kids, but it really ain't gonna move them until they have an opportunity to do something different. So you gotta give them an opportunity, which consists of money. Money rules everything, and kids want things. It requires money. If they don't have money, they're gonna do what? Commit crimes. From my environment, understand what I'm saying? So the best way to change the kids in our community is present an opportunity to do something different. Sports used to work.
Right.
These days, kids don't even do sports anymore, right? So I think summer jobs, winter jobs, whatever it takes to help them accomplish something and earn something, it will change their mind. I know because I was them.
Sure.
Right.
And that's where the credibility comes from.
Exactly.
You can relate. Coming from me, it's not going to have the same credit or merit consideration as if you guys, because you're meeting people where they are, as they say. You're in the neighborhoods, you're in the communities, you know the people, you know the conversation, you know how to speak to them.
Yes.
And so by virtue of that, maybe you'll get through and be able to do the messaging that, if I'm being honest, that law enforcement has a problem doing.
Right.
You know, we find comfortable spaces to have comfortable conversations with, more times than not, the people that are in that space aren't the people that need to hear those messages.
That's right.
And so that's why I always reach out to Mr. Moore and your group, because I know where the problems are, and I want people that can move in that space with credibility, you know, with experience, and can speak to the people that need to hear it. And you guys do that. So if you want to speak to, like, where all are you in the communities? I know you do the bags for kids. I've seen you out at, like, say, Aberdeen Gardens, approaching school time. Winter's coming, so I know you'll have another big coat drive moving forward.
Yes, sir.
How do you decide where you're gonna, I guess, exist or hold an event, or what space you're gonna move in? How do you do that?
Well, with me and excuse me, and my team gets on me about this, but I would think about doing something, and then I would immediately want to do it, you know. And they tell me we need to prepare, but I'm gonna give you my reason for why I move like I do, because while I'm sitting waiting, somebody dying, a kid is getting in trouble. So I think that if I move fast, I can catch these numbers that keeps gradually getting high. So that's why I move like that. But I understand the organization part, and you know, I do that, but preparation. But I like boots on the ground. If I see a problem, I'm going to attack it. Just like I'm going to attack this gun violence in our neighborhoods, and that's just the spirit of Bad for the Kids. We move, we boots on the ground with it. If there's a problem, we go into it in the community, in the hoods, in the neighborhoods. You know.
Right.
Yeah. So.
I mean, what kind of messaging are you having with the people you're talking to, the young folk, the young adult men? What kind of messaging? I mean, you're speaking to your experience. How does that translate into something that they can understand and that might influence them in a more positive way?
Well, I try to explain the difficulties of being in prison. I tell them, you commit a crime, you're going to prison. Don't think that you're going to keep escaping, because eventually you're going to get caught and you're going to prison, right? So I try to create a very negative narrative about prison to implant fear, right? I mean, you know, these kids, they're different. They ain't scared of nothing, right?
Right.
But once they're in that environment, all that changes, because you no longer have a weapon, a gun, per se, right? So if you ain't man enough to stand on your own inside there, that gun means nothing out here. So I try to tell them the difference. Some of them, they understand what I'm saying, but still, as kids, teenagers, whatever, they can't see the bigger picture. I couldn't see it, right?
Right.
And I know, and I try to preach to them about the outcome of your actions.
Yes.
If some catch it, it's cool. If some don't, you know, it is what it is. But it's my intent to make a change. You know, since I met him, I've been deeply involved in making changes with the kids. You know, it's difficult.
No doubt.
It's difficult.
All right. Total transparency. What's the difference between you speaking to him and, say, me or somebody from law enforcement? What's the difference between my conversation and yours?
Well, first of all, when you speak to him, automatically a shield goes up. You're on the defense. When I speak to him, I'm one of them. So you're going to listen.
Right.
And I'm one of them dudes that, I don't want to say people in the hood admire, but I have what you call credibility
cred.
and swagger, right? Where I present myself like I want to be like him, right? Even though I'm just like them. Understand what I'm saying? But it's an image. And the problem with kids these days too, it's image. They want to create an image. Bad boy image though. I'm more like on some, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I have a car, I have a pretty girlfriend. You understand what I'm saying? But their image is, I want to be the baddest person out here. And I tell them all the time, it's not going to work in society. Right. Because somebody is better than you.
Yeah.
You think you're bad? He's even better. And it goes on and on. And that gun talk, you know, it's turning our people up in our community. It really is. The gun talk, the gun branding, you know what I'm saying? It's just out there. And it's hard to change the kids that's doing the gun thing because you can't put their guns down. Once they pick them up, you can't put it down because once it's in your hand, you created an image yourself and you did something to prove yourself. Now, if I put my gun down, he has the opportunity to come at me. So I think right now, the generation right now, they're pretty much stuck in what they're doing because they can't drop what they're doing. There's too much going on. So, in my opinion, I think our target should be the kids that are coming after them. Change their mind state. Because the kids right now, y'all have the stigma in their mind, this is how I'm going to be. I'm in the game. I can't get out my game. If I do, my ops, the rivals, can come get me with no problem. So they stay in the game, right? Mm-hmm. So, like I said, in my opinion, the target should be the kids that are coming after them.
To catch the ones before they start picking guns up.
Exactly.
Right.
So your impression is that once they get in the game, it's
stuck.
Too hard to get them out.
Right.
They're already moving one kind of way, and so we have to get the kids early, younger, before they actually start participating in gun violence.
Exactly. I can't put my gun down. I can't put it down. If I put it down, I already created beef already. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Right. But not all kids are the same. Some people you can save. Even people who are in gangs, some of them you can save. And I think, like I said earlier, the best way to save kids is to create an opportunity, job-wise.
Okay.
To earn something for themselves. Because once they do better and feel better, they act better. That's the way it is.
And that's the benefit of talking to people that, for one, have had the experience because they see they can turn themselves around.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then having the benefit that having the law enforcement, government, community engagement is to know that you have options. And I always say when I'm out and I'm speaking publicly, no one wants or would prefer to be, say, a criminal or violent person. And typically that's a symptom of pain.
Right.
And that pain can be, being underserved in your communities or not having money, not having somewhere decent for housing, mental health issues, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And so by presenting options and alternatives and support systems, then they can make better choices.
Right.
And you guys are one of the tools that help that happen, where you can say, through my experience, I can show you how you can change your lives around.
Yes.
And I know you have a very extensive network, though. It's not just you. And we were together a couple nights ago at a forum where the ladies spoke about gun violence and some of the tragedies that they've experienced in their lives. Mm-hmm. And one of the young ladies mentioned another group that she's a party to that's associated to you. Can you speak to that, the other group as well?
Yeah, and that group is called, that program is called From a Mother's Perspective, where the ladies of our organization went out and created a program for people, mothers in particular, that got struck by gun violence. And in that program, we open up the floor to let them speak, because the more they speak, more healing comes instead of keeping it bottled up. So we give them that opportunity, and we bring resources, different people, like we brung you there a couple of times, one time I think, and it just opened up dialogue, and I think that's key. Talking,
having the opportunity to talk about it,
about it, instead of keeping it in, because you keep stuff in, it's going to explode in a negative way more times than often. So I give those girls kudos, Nikki Ridley, Deanna Millen, they're doing a great thing from a mother's perspective.
And I love the fact that this platform allows us to get that information, that communication out there. And it also will give you guys an opportunity to try to build support.
Yes.
So if you want to speak to some of the ways that you acquire, say, the opportunity to get the coats and the book bags and the other support systems that you're providing for the young children and young members of the community, both during school and before school, that'd be a great opportunity for you guys real quick.
Right.
Okay. Well, I know on my Facebook page, my name is Christopher Moore. You can look on my Facebook page, and everything that I do is on the page. Or you can go to bagforthekids.org. Or you can Google us, just Bag for the Kids, and everything will pull up.
Right.
I try to stay on social media as much as I can, not only to combat a lot of negative that be on there, trying to create more positive, but that's where you will see a lot of the things that we do, on social media.
Sure.
Yep.
Good. And we'll be there. And then the other thing is, and again, I'll take this as a moment for me to learn. How do we, as not only just as a community, but more specifically, my quest is as a law enforcement agency, public safety, police departments, how do we communicate more effectively? What are we doing incorrectly, and how can we improve that process of actually, exchanging? I know we have a great relationship, but how do we expand that beyond you and I? What do we do?
Well, I think what's important is to change that narrative, because like I said earlier, most people, most of the community think the police is after us. But, I've learned that's not the case, and what I've seen is I've seen police in the neighborhoods, in the trenches, playing with the kids. So I think that is very vital so we can change the outlook that we had so many years about law enforcement. I think that's very key.
So what do you guys have planned moving forward? Oh, you look like you want to add to that. Go ahead.
That's a good question. It's a really good question.
Good.
Because I put myself in that position.
Good.
Talk to the police. Talk to the police. That's a good question. How do we accept the blue people, we call you blue people in uniforms, into our lives and speak openly to you? That's a good one. That's really a good one. It really is. You can create events where the police and the civilians, like ourselves, intermingle together. Whether it be baseball games together, you know what I'm saying? Any activity, we can all be in the same room. Like, for instance, right now, if we had two people in here right now, from our walk of life, young people, not just the good kids, but the bad kids, sitting right here, you can question them. Because this adult conversation we have all the time is for adults. They're not present. So how do it affect them? Excuse my voice.
No, you're good.
Yeah, how does it affect them if they're not here? So the next time you have a podcast, invite two people in gangs, whatever case may be. Not good kids, but the bad kids. Invite them and you question them about how can I change your life? What can I do better for you? And that will give you an answer. Because we're adults, so we rational people. We gonna speak what we understand to be the truth. They had no understanding. So once you talk to them and born an understanding, we can create a conversation. It's very important that they be present. Again, in order for them to accept you have to be involved. Not just talk to them, that's not gonna work. It won't work for me. So every year he have a baseball game every year, and he plays people from Portsmouth, from our walk of life. From now on, you need to play your department. The fire department or your department play against us. That way we make it together.
You ready for that, Chief?
I'm trying to win.
And listen, we're making it together, create a conversation, pass out flyers, do whatever we got to do, we do it amongst them. Okay. So they can say, you know what, I appreciate them. They're not bad guys.
Right.
So I know you're not bad guys, you know what I'm saying? Not all of you. So that would be my answer to that question.
Well, that's actually never thought of it. I mean, really, I appreciate that because it makes sense.
Right.
Makes absolute sense. Now the next question is, are they going to show if I send the invite?
See,
real talk.
Yeah.
That's real talk. You can't send it. He got to send it.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Right, because, kids say you work with police. You know what I mean? The snitcher thing, even though everybody snitches. But they don't be known as snitches, right? They don't want it out in the open.
Right.
So if he come through and say, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to beat their asses this year in softball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's going to create energy, mojo. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it.
Okay.
And once you're out there, get to talking to them, you understand who you are. You're not a bad guy. You're one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It changes things.
Yeah. Well,
it really does.
Oh, that's good. Any parting words? Anything I missed? Anything you guys want to add? Talk to your communities. Talk to your neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, definitely we need to stop this violence out here and do all that we can.
Yes.
I mean, everything. If it's just a simple conversation with somebody, they need that. It's not just no one answer to this. As I've seen the last couple of years, this became a pandemic. I mean, you see it almost every day. So Some people might not can create a nonprofit such as myself, but they can talk. They can have a conversation. And I always think, like, when I see these things happen on TV, what influence or what conversation did they have before that? Who was in their life, you know? Whether it be an uncle, an aunt, you know, that kind of said something positive to them that can deter them from doing something malice. You know, so I think all of us can work together with this. You know, all of us. You don't have to be a Bag for the Kids, a nonprofit organization. You can just be yourself, just positively talking, showing love. And that's one of the great things that our organization do when we come out there into those hoods. We show love first.
Yes.
You know, then we get the conversations. Then we find out where we can, you know, provide resources. But the main thing is we go out there and show love, and they feel that, and they know what's real and what's not. And they believe in me, and I thank them for believing in me. I thank you for believing in me, and that just makes me not want to stop. One of my mottos is that I will never stop when it comes to these kids. I will not.
That's what's up.
Yep.
What's up, Lou? Anything else?
Nah, not really, man. It's an honor to be here.
No, my pleasure. I appreciate you guys coming out.
It's not my forte right here.
You did good, man.
But
You did.
I love it, man.
Good.
I love your presence, his presence, the whole atmosphere. I'm a rapper. Well, I was a rapper, so the light is my thing, right? But talking ain't my thing. I have an impediment, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't like talking that much.
You did good today.
But I can't stop,
Yes,
though.
he did. Yes, he did.
It's passion.
Yes, definitely, man. It's in my heart. You know, it brings me to tears, though, to be honest. A lot goes on in that hood, man. We need to change. Real talk.
No, I appreciate you guys, though. It's definitely, hopefully the message gets out. No doubt you guys will come back, bring some more folk with you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Talk about anything you got coming up, anything that's on the schedule coming up that the communities need to know about.
One more thing.
Sure.
I co-drive it soon. How soon is it?
Anywhere between the next couple weeks to December.
Okay.
We're gonna try to do it as soon as possible,
If
though.
you can have officers be present and give out codes too,
Absolutely.
it'd be big.
He knows how to get to me.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Chief
Get it out.
always boots on the ground.
Right.
Yeah. Good to go.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
No
thank
doubt
you.
we'll be seeing each other again.
Yes, we will.
And that concludes our first maiden video episode for the podcast.
Right.
And looking forward to some
was a
good
pleasure.
things. All right.
It was
My
a
pleasure.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thanks for joining us for Unveiled, a podcast highlighting the extraordinary men and women of the Hampton Police Division. To learn more, check us out on our social media and at hampton.gov/police.